Hey guys, good evening and welcome back. This is Donna Sharpe with Holistic Wellbeing. Thank you so much for joining me here again on day 528. I'm going to get my little pedestal here together. So it's a delight to have you guys here joining me once again on doing these lives. I am your holistic and wellness coach. My name is Donna Sharpe with Holistic Wellbeing. Very excited to be back here again with you to speak with you on another fantastic subject. As you know, I have been going through the book, How to Create Strong Families. And tonight, this particular topic is near and dear to my heart because this is something that I've actually, should I say, fulfilled on for many years. Not just speak about it, but I actually have placed this in action and really has reap the benefits from it. And you'll see what I mean based on this. And this may be something that you are doing as well. So I wanted to speak with you on the section from this book tonight on how do you create strong families? What is one aspect of your life that you can do to actually create strong families? And the topic of this is dinner together. And that should really say a lot when I say dinner together. If it does not ring a bell, then that means this is an area that I would encourage you to draw a little bit closer to your heart as it pertains to your family members and the things that you're going to do to bridge the gap with the communication in your household and allow individuals to be able to learn to get to know each other better around the table, because so many times we have a disconnect as it pertains to understanding our family members, who they are and where they're coming from. So this is such a great time to use as a platform to be able to open up the lines of communication, identify values, and find out where everyone is going as far as the future is concerned, right? So dinner together, the attributes that this particular area covers is communication, education, sensitivity, and individuality. As you can see, communication is in many of the different traditions that I've been speaking on over the past few days, right? Because communication is just pivotal when it comes to one-to-one conversation between individuals or even group to group, right? In many regards, I mentioned to you that if you are currently employed, communication is a pivotal mark in how well the organization will function, because if there's no communication, there's going to be a lot of breakdown with impactful and important things that needs to take place, right? So there was a time when, this is speaking from this young lady in the book, there's a husband and wife and the children. So I'm speaking from their standpoint. There was a time when family dinner table was a place to communicate and educate. That's always been my thing. I've done it for so long that it's very, very rewarding to me, because and my children know when we sit down, it's no time for you to stand up and eat or you're flying through the door. It has to be a time where we sit and just allow each other to relate to what's going on in the current day, what happened in the past week, the past month, and what can I do as a parent going forward to help you progress into what it is that you're moving into next. So what a great time to do that, right? Quite like the time that I spoke on when you're in the vehicle. And if you're on the road a lot as a parent, that's a great time to open up the lines of communication, allow them to just speak. You don't have to say much, just allow them to speak, right? Hello, Wanda. Hi, Kim. Thank you so much for joining. Welcome. So in the past, according to this is I put it as back then, right? Back then. This should be back then and here and now. Okay. So there was a time where family dinner table was a place to communicate and educate. There was even something called the dinner hour, which implied that families actually sat around a table for an hour and talked to each other. What a concept. Actually talk to each other. Oh my gosh, they really got some things out in the open. Who would have ever thought, right? It just brings a lot of results, let me tell you. So there was even something called the dinner hour, and this was back then, right? The dinner hour, which implied that families actually sat around a table for an hour and talked to each other. Now, most households use the cupboard or the kitchen bar or more than the table. And eating is more like random refueling than dining. And that's what I mentioned before, where you have some families that are on the run. You can't catch them. And they're like, oh my gosh, I have to be off to this next event. That's not a good thing. So how do you prevent this from taking place? Well, let's move forward further first before we talk about that. Some have said that with their tongues only partially in their cheeks, that the real culprit in the decline of family communication is fast food. Well, it's not just that. That's not the real culprit, is fast food. Yeah, I know a lot of people want to catch things on the run, and they have more activities that's taken up their plate and their time, and so they don't make the quality time to really sit with their family, right? So here's a story by Linda. Linda is the spouse of this family that you've heard about from this book, throughout this entire book. And I'm going to read her short story here. It says, a quite remarkable survey article appeared in the USA Today, October 1993. As we were writing this book, it was an attempt to determine cause and effect regarding high-achieving, well-adjusted adolescents. Essentially, they took a large sample of kids who did well in school and other activities and who enjoyed a high level of self-esteem, and they tried to determine what behavioral patterns or other tendencies matched up. In other words, was there something these successful kids all did? Some common ingredient or factor that was present in all of their lives and therefore could be viewed as a cause. They looked at an economical factor, where most of them in a certain socioeconomic class. At religious factors, did most of them go to church? And dozens more. The single thing that correlated most directly with the solid achievement and strong self-image was sitting down and eating dinner together on a regular basis with their parents. So go figure. They're trying to figure out all these technical, psychological, sociological things and data count and research, and it was something so simple as just bringing your family together and sitting down and chatting with them. Plus, by the way, you're going to have everybody at your family table have some kind of comment about the meal that was prepared, right? Either they're going to just love it to pieces, or they're going to criticize what's at the table, or they're going to talk about what they're going to eat next, but it's all in good fun. And you're also getting a great value from the conversations as well. So most families make some effort to sit down and eat together, depending on the ages of their children, work schedules, and a host of other things. Some families do well to have a meal together once a week, perhaps on Sundays. Others actually eat together in most evenings. In any case, given the possible rewards, it is worth the effort to institute a regular dinner time in your family. So again, like I mentioned to you before, there's no two family alike, okay? Your family is not going to do exactly what my family does, and vice versa. My family's not going to do what your family does. So let's not get tied up in the formalities of it. Just let's understand the main purpose of what I spoke about today. And that is, take all the fancy stuff out. Keep it very simple. I speak to you guys from time to time about the KISS method. Speak, Donna. I speak to you from time to time about the KISS method. And it's just, keep it simple, sweetie. Right? And there's some other meanings for that acronym, but I'm going to use that one. Keep it simple, sweetie. And that means sometimes we overcomplicate things and we don't keep things to the simplest forms to get the results that we need, right? So I'm going to encourage you, find some time, some family time to have dinner with your children. If you don't have children, then find other family members that you know that you don't really have much connection with right now, that you desire a better relationship with them. Sit down, dine with them, but don't just make it about the meal. Make it more about conversations of things you knew you wanted to speak about before, that you want to bring up and chit chat. But again, don't make it an argument either, because you want to come out with a good purpose. And if you start an argument, then that wasn't your intent to begin with. So find some things that you want to, if it's just nothing more than just thinking back and what's the word? Just meditating, not meditating, but you know what I'm trying to say. Thinking about those things from the past, right? And you're laughing about the pictures that you've had from the past, the things you used to do. If it's nothing more than that, it's something to actually get the fire, to get the fuel going and the fire going, so that the next dinner conversation you guys have, it will be even at a higher level. So I'm going to encourage you to try that. All right. So that's all I had for you this evening. Again, this is just one of those topics that's near and dear to my heart. Try it, because I promise you, reminiscent. Thank you, Kim. Woo! I had to pull that out in left field. I was wondering when you guys are going to pick up for me. Thank you. It was coming. It was coming slowly, but it was coming. So, yes, reminiscent. So, I'm going to encourage you guys to share this live with someone else. Please love it. And Also, log onto my website if you hadn't had a chance to see it yet, holisticwellbeing.com. Just peruse it, check it out. I'm still working on some things, but all in all, I'm just going to encourage you guys that the things that I speak about, I pray that you're putting it in practice, because it's one thing to hear it, but it's another thing to do it. All right. So I'll see you guys back again here tomorrow. Kim, always a pleasure to see you. Miss Wanda, pleasure to see you as well. I do pray you guys are doing well and you're staying safe. And remember, if no one told you that they cared, remember that I do. I care and I love you guys dearly. Thank you so much for all your wonderful support. And I will see you back here again tomorrow, mañana. All right. So have a fantastic evening, guys, and be well. Take care. Ciao.